Hi there! It's Jenny from Quick Anime Recap. And today we're recapping an anime called Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. So sit tight and enjoy the video. The anime begins with an introvert boy, Shinichi Sakurai, starting his college sophomore first year. As he's reunited with his old friend Hana Uzaki, starting out her freshman year, which makes Shinichi her senpai. But as the year goes on, Uzaki sees Senpai wasting his school year away all alone. So, she is determined to help with Senpai's loner life. The next school year arrived, the now college junior Shinichi meet Uzaki again, as she tries to make their year more exciting. After Senpai received a notice about his lecture class being cancelled, he decided to use his free time to see a movie alone. But, Uzaki manages to force her way into tag along with Senpai. At first, Senpai is hesitant with her tagging along, however, when Uzaki embarrasses him by shouting in front of many people, he reluctantly accepted her. Now at the cinema, Uzaki couldn't help but to laugh at Senpai's loner routine, irritating him further. When they are deciding what movie to watch, Senpai surprisingly offers to pay for her ticket, which Uzaki happily accepts, and even toys with Senpai a little before entering the movie theater. After finishing the movie, Uzaki suggests they go to the mall to check out some electronics. During the trip, Uzaki and Senpai decide to try out the new massage chairs. But out of nowhere, Uzaki starts making some ecchi noises when she maxes out the intensity, causing Senpai to embarrassingly drags her away. They then run into a VR booth, which Uzaki is terrified when she tries out the new shooting game, and unintentionally hits Senpai in the face. Now it's Senpai's turn to test it. He is amazed by the realistic graphics of the ocean. However, when a giant shark appears, he starts to flail his arm in panic and accidentally grabs her oppai, thinking it is a big jellyfish. After that, they make their way to a batting center. Seeing how bad Senpai is at batting, she made a bet with Senpai, stating if she hit a home run the dinner is on him. Unfortunately, she hurt her back during the swing. Although Senpai advises her to see a doctor, she insists they should get dinner. They then went to a ramen shop and have dinner together, and Uzaki sneakily ate all of his food. The next day at school, Uzaki warmly greets Senpai, and state that yesterday was fun, and they should hang out next time too. Although Senpai prefer being alone, he didn't mind hanging out with her, so he accepted her invitation. However, Uzaki then goes on to embarrass him, when she yells that her back still hurts after what they did last night. It is revealed that Senpai works at a cafe run by Mr. Asai, and Mr. Asai had been working there for 10 years, and only recently he hired him as a part-timer. However, when Uzaki appears, he is shocked to know Uzaki is a college student, even though he have years of experience meeting with all sorts of people. After that, Senpai begins to serve Uzaki, but seeing how Senpai is serving her, she starts to complain about his attitude towards a customer is wrong, and even tells Mr. Asai to give him a pay cut. Thinking it will be amusing to watch, Mr. Asai tells him to treat her like a usual customer. However, as he do it, Uzaki couldn't contain her laughter, prompting him to throw her out. Meanwhile, Mr. Asai decide to call it a day, because he also couldn't contain his laugh. Now walking back home, Uzaki comment that the cafe is a very pleasant place to relax, and she even suggests she will get a part-time job there too. The next morning, Uzaki is on her way to school as she bumps into Senpai trying to pet a cat, but is unable to do so. She then shows him the proper ways to pet a cat, revealing she have 2 pet cats in her home. But as that is happening, a passing bike scares away the cat, causing Senpai to feel really sad that he wasn't able to pet the cat. So, Uzaki decide to catch the cat for Senpai, but ends up getting stuck in a wall of plants. With no choice, Senpai ends up pulling her out after being embarrassed by some strangers passing by. Now at the school cafeteria, Uzaki is shocked to hear that Senpai is eating with a friend. She later toys with Senpai by texting him constantly. After school, Uzaki comes to the cafe again to see if Senpai could help her with a report. While Senpai is helping her, Mr. Asai offers them some sandwiches and tea, which they kindly accept it. Out of nowhere, Uzaki asked to visit his house and even spending a night there, since he lived near their campus. which Senpai immediately rejects, thinking it's bad for a girl to stay at his place. However, Ozaki is just trying to play video games together at his house. Embarrassed, he calls her a moron repeatedly. Watching from the counter, Mr. Asahi laugh and say that this was fun, and consider give him a raise to see more. The next day, the daughter of Mr. Asahi, Amy Asahi, reveals her thoughts and opinions on Senpai. As he cashes out 2 customers, they learn his height and former sports profession, which Amy overhears, and elated by the information. Mr. Asahi pulls his daughter back into reality after he catches her drifting away in thought. Just as her father orders her to clean a table, Ozaki arrives in the cafe. While he is annoyed by Ozaki's presence, Amy is perplexed as to whom Ozaki is. It's then, Senpai answers that they went to the same college together. Seated at her own table, Ozaki introduces herself to Amy, and she notices Yuzaki's cute yet beastly appearance. This makes her want to help Senpai and Ozaki get closer. When she runs out of water, she gets up to fill it. Immediately, she crashes into Senpai and the two get soaked in cold water. They then argue with each other, as Mr. Asahi and Amy stand idly by and watch. Visiting the cafe again, Ozaki learns that Senpai is out with a cold today. The cause of it is believed to be from being drenched in cold water yesterday. Meanwhile, at Senpai's apartment, he is shocked to see Ozaki standing outside of his house. Before he could ask how she knows his address, he loses consciousness due to fatigue. In hopes to help him, Ozaki goes out shopping for some food and medicine for him. With the food she purchased, she makes Senpai some rice porridge, which he eats it. And after he's finished, Hana has him take off his shirt so she can wipe him down with a wet towel. Eventually, he lays back down in his bed and Ozaki starts to play video game, which annoys him as she keeps pestering him while he is trying to rest. The following day, he runs into Amy and tells her that he's recovered from his cold. Elated by his recovery, Amy claims they should all enjoy Korean barbecue to celebrate. As Ozaki goes to the bathroom, Mr. Asahi and Amy pressure him to reveal how Ozaki was when she took care of him, which he answers it and further elaborates on how he wants a solo lifestyle for himself. Not wanting this for Senpai, Amy and Mr. Asahi plan to get Ozaki and him closer to each other. Ozaki then returns to the table, and when she noticed that Senpai calls Amy by her first name, she grumpily eats all of the meat on the table. The next day at college, as Senpai reflects on the Korean barbecue celebration, he's approached by Ozaki who tries to hypnotize him. To pay her back for helping him, he simply goes with it. Growing annoyed with her games, he demands to know why she is doing this. She answers it's because he calls Amy by her first name, which he then explains, it is because Amy requests him to do it, and Ozaki accepts his reason. At the cafe, Senpai is informed that they will be taking a hot spring vacation, and they suggest that he take a holiday somewhere to enjoy himself. However, he decides to stay home and play video games for 72 straight hours. At that moment his doorbell rings and not to his surprise, it's Ozaki. It is because she figured that he will be home playing video games, and asks if he wants to play Doraemon Go. Due to a special event going on in the game, Ozaki invites him to join her. Outside, Ozaki notes that he has a scary look on his face after she shows him a cat that she spotted in her game. Noting that his eyes hurt while looking at the screen, so Ozaki decides that they should get him some glasses. At the glasses store, they coincidentally run into Amy, who is informed of Senpai's 3-day video game seclusion. Ozaki then decides that Amy can help them look for a perfect pair of glasses for Senpai to wear. He then tries on a bunch of different glasses, a few of which amuse Ozaki and Amy. When Ozaki tries on a pair of glasses and asks for his opinion, his tepid comments triggers her. Taking a train ride home, the train slowly becomes crowded with people, causing the two to get pressed up against each other. To keep his cool, he tries to picture tranquil settings, but Ozaki grows concerned by his display. When it was time for them to get off, he fails to get off due to being in too calm of a state. Now snapped back to reality, he sees that Ozaki called him several times and decides to ignore it. When Mr. Asahi learns from him about his excursion with Ozaki, he tries his best to not laugh. Amy then chimes in and suggests that he should make it up with Ozaki. So, the following day at college, he approaches Ozaki who is sleeping on the benches. She's depressed over the fact that there's no holidays in June. Furthermore, the rainy weather dampens her morose mood even further. Therefore, Senpai suggests they hang out next weekend, which astounds Izaki. Ultimately, it's decided the two should hang out with each other at his apartment. On the day of the hangout, Izaki gets soaked from the heavy downpour that day. She then takes a shower and for the time being wears Senpai's clothing. She gives him an old pot of hers, so that he has decent cookware in his house. As the beef curry is made, the two play a game called Meow Craft together, and they seems to have a lot of fun together. Afterward, Senpai walks Izaki home to the train station, but they have to walk back to his apartment as she forgot her pass there. Thanks for watching the video. Still want to watch more anime recap? Click the videos on the screen to watch more. And don't forget to subscribe to catch the latest upload. Bye!